Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods here. And last night, I premiered something on our live stream, or started something new on our live stream last night. Those of you will remember when I got the clock down here and it was 226 days to the season. And we counted that thing off every single day. You know, every morning I was right here. Well, almost every morning. I was on Puerto Rico doing building homes there for a week or so. But other than that, we've been here pretty much every morning doing our Don't Sleep on the Dallas Cowboys report, counting it down. Well, I got tired of seeing it at 000. And so I reset the clock, countdown to the Super Bowl. Now, I don't have it exactly right because it's actually, when I looked up the NFL's clock, it looked to Super Bowl Sunday, which would be 12:01 a.m. I need to actually set it for the game. So we still got another 18 hours more of the season. But that's it. 126 days to the season. Time flies. We already are a quarter of the way into the season. And one thing I like to do, so see, when I put things out there, I stand behind what I say. I will go back and tell you if I was right or if I was wrong. More times than not, I'm usually not far off. You know, at the time when I say things, a lot of people say, you're crazy, you're an idiot, you're not credible, you don't know what you're talking about. You're a loser. Well, they always say I'm a loser, but, you know, that's the way it is. But I like to look back because the talking heads out there, they seem to have a short memory of what they say. Because, you know, now everybody is on the Dak bandwagon. Literally a month ago, they were killing the Cowboys and Dak Prescott. But now all of a sudden, you know, they're kind of following that wave and everything else. So I wanted to go back and look at this point right now with what Michael Irvin had said. Now, Michael Irvin had went on record saying that he had concerns about Kellen Moore being the offensive coordinator. He said, you know, he's a rookie, doesn't have the experience and things like that. He was concerned until he talked to Zeke Elliott. And Zeke Elliott said, no, bro, he's good. He actually listens to us. He actually will go through and take our input. And I think more than anything else, that has changed the culture of the Dallas Cowboys players. Because a lot of times when you have that authoritarian person, you know, that coach that is always like, you know, I don't care what you want, you're going to do it my way. That was Scott Linehan. And you didn't feel like you were part of the equation. You felt like you were just a straight worker instead of being in the trenches there together. And I think that's one of the things that's happened with Kellen Moore. That Kellen Moore, you know, he sits there with Dak and they go through what worked good in practice, what worked bad and things. And they kind of say, you know, work together on what plays they feel comfortable with, what they feel will work. We didn't get that before with Scott Linehan because he was an old guard coach that it's like, you know, I'm the genius here. I come up with the plays. Your job is just to do them and don't question it. And understand, belief is a powerful, powerful tool. If you do not believe that something can succeed, chances are it won't. But if you believe in something, you will go head over heels. You will do everything in your power to make it succeed. And that's where I always say that if you want to do something, first put it out to the universe. Next, work your ass off to make it come true. And you may think that, well, you know, what you're asking to do is impossible. Well, the fact that I'm sitting here right now as a person who used to stutter, who used to couldn't talk in public, is a testament to putting it out to the universe and working your ass off to get there. So Michael Irvin, a little over a month ago before the season started, gave his 5 reasons why the Cowboys will win the Super Bowl. And I wanted to go back and evaluate that and see, do we have any of these reasons? How was his take on it for our Dallas Cowboys?
Number 5, right there. Here's that Kellen Moore. And you want to know why? Let me tell you why. And I got to give Tony Romo some credit for this because he's right in what he said. He says, in this league, man, I need you guys to understand the fastest learning organism in the world is NFL defenses. But nobody knows how Kellen Moore will call offense. They don't know. They don't have a book on him. Once they get a book on you, they know everything. They know if you use toilet tissue or wipes. That's why you can't give them the book on you. They don't have a book on Kellen Moore. He will show up. He will show out. And Zeke said he listens to the players. Let me give you number 4 right there. You see them young guys, that young defense? That young defense, 70 yards per game last year. Boy, that young defense right there, 5th against the run. They got better. They are getting better because it's all young. And those young boys, Wolf Hunter, that Vander Esch, and the Predator, that boy Jalen Smith, all they do, seek, trap, and destroy. That young defense will have the Cowboys right where they want them right now. Number 3, this one is big. Because Dak and them wide receivers, this is the perfect combination of people living together, the way Dak plays and the way they play. Amari Cooper gives you great outside presence. And Randall Cobb, the greatest get, I think, in the offseason was Randall Cobb. This dude is phenomenal. He's tearing it up. I give them all the credit in the world for watch that passing game take off early in the season. Number 2, that offensive line. And the returning players on that offensive line. Nobody's talking about Travis Frederick coming back. Nobody's talking about the center that set everything, that offensive line back intact. Looney did a great job last year, a great job. But nobody is Travis Frederick. You get this man back, and you add Jason Witten. We don't need Jason Witten to run down the field and do big things. All we need him to do is give a threat right here on short yardage and goal line. Just a threat. Make the defense think and thought, and we got you. That's all we need you to do, Jason Witten. And the number 1 reason, let me explain this to people. It's the man with the big back that carries everything. Zeke, let me tell you why. Everybody's so caught up with the bedazzle in our offense. Everybody wants you to bring bedazzle to offense. Now, what happened is the Rams have a bedazzle offense, and the bedazzle offense makes you think that they can be physical. But the Dallas Cowboys, they are physical. And we're adding bedazzle to physical. The reason the Rams lost the Super Bowl, both the last 2 Super Bowls they lost, was because that man, Bill Belichick, said, let's get all that bedazzle and get physical. And they couldn't match the intensity. The Cowboys are not bedazzle. They are physical, and we're adding bedazzle to it, and you can't beat it. So when it comes down to playing physical football, the Cowboys can do that. That's what it'll take to win the Super Bowl. That's why the Cowboys will have a chance to win the Super Bowl. I can't tell y'all. I just gave y'all everybody here today. You came to this show. I want you to know you came hungry. You're leaving full. You have been edified, Christian, and taught.
You leaving full, Stephen A?
You sound insane.
What do you mean?
Let me go down the list. First of all, Kellen Moore. Who the hell is that?
That's
Who the hell is that? Oh, so let me get this straight. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. Let me get this straight. So because Kellen Moore has no experience as offense coordinator, because there's not film on him, he's going to surprise veteran National Football League coaches.
They don't know if he likes toilet paper or wipes. They don't get it.
You know what? I ain't never coached in the NFL, so that basically I can do it, right? Because I'm being surprised.
No. You got to have knowledge of it. I'm telling you. Watch what happens.
That's just nonsense. All right.
First offensive coordinator.
Young gun defense, I don't mind. That's a bad defense. I got mad love for them. I got mad love for them. I ain't got anything to say about them. Wide receivers. Okay, I got to listen. Amari Cooper can ball. We get all of that. We get all of that. Wait a minute. Dak Prescott's got some things to prove, especially once he gets his money, because he's going to get his money. Oh, by the way, Cole Beasley upgrade with Randall Cobb from Cole Beasley. I'm willing to concede that. But Randall Cobb is about as old as me and you, but let's keep that in mind. Okay, then we got, don't get me started on Jason Witten now. I mean, if Snell's had arthritis, they'd be faster than Jason Witten. Just stop it. Just stop it, okay?
Probably the best center, if not one of the best centers in the league, doesn't make a difference.
interrupt you when you took over my
Okay.
Be quiet, okay? So you got Jason Witt now. I mean, this man was good. The man retired, went to Monday Night Football, and then was like this. Damn, they looking good without me. Let me get on back there. I mean, they might have a chance. Let me see if I can make a contribution.
Right.
Okay, I understand that. I understand all of that. Listen, add a little bit, right?
Just a little bit.
Stop it, okay? You got one receiver, and everything else is a question mark. And then, by the way, last but not least, when you talk about, you talk about the returning players, and you talk about the bedazzle. Okay, excuse me. The Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are allergic to just being consistent, stoic, and about the business-like mentality of doing their job. They are all about the bedazzle. They are all about the sizzle. But guess what? It ain't gonna work for them. They can't handle it. Everybody can't handle it. All right. And last but not least, Zeke. Are you sure Zeke gonna be happy? Because we all know. We all know that the Dallas Cowboys, especially in the modern era, they have a history of letting off the field matters get in their way. Are we sure? Listen, that they're gonna be all right? I'm just trying to tell you the destruction waiting to happen, man.
Do you understand what this will be if we add correctly the bedazzle to Zeke? Do you understand? I mean, people don't understand the difference between this is a real physical team.
And being fruitful and multiplying with the Dallas Cowboys for many, many years. How does it work for you? How does it work for you?
Oh, it's worked. They're in a great spot. It's just a matter of getting everybody here now. Now they have an opportunity to start a dynasty from this moment on. That's why
Did you say dynasty?
I said exactly that.
They haven't even been to the NFC Championship game. They haven't even been to the Conference Championship game since 1995. I had an afro back then. I had an afro back then. By the way, you had a real one back then too.
This is a real one.
Okay, enough of that. So, again, Michael Irvin apparently, at least right now, owns Stephen A. Smith. When you go through Michael Irvin's list in there, the only one that you look at right now that you actually question at the moment is the defense. But here's what I'm hoping, and correct me if I'm wrong. When you think about last season, our defense played great early part of the season. Our defense kept us in games. Our defense was everything waiting for the offense to get there. Our defense, you could almost say, really peaked early to middle of the season. After that, we started getting some injuries. We know that Byron Jones had the hip problems and things. Tyrone Crawford was a little nicked. DeMarcus Lawrence was dealing with the shoulder. And the defense wasn't quite as strong going down the stretch as the offense was. But the offense took up the slack. The offense became everything that you wanted in a ham sandwich. Had we had both of those teams peaking at the same time and clicking at the same time, I think we would have gotten the victory in the Rams and maybe had a shot at going to the Super Bowl. But the defense came on early. Now, the defense hasn't quite gotten into their groove just yet, and I think part of that is because we had guys that missed training camp because of injuries. We know DeMarcus Lawrence, although DeMarcus Lawrence, contrary to what people believe, he's facing double teams every game. He's still getting pressures. And now that you've got Robert Quinn out there, that's going to make a difference. Getting Xavier Woods back this week. Jeff Heath is actually playing really good at safety. The Cowboys were smart not to go ahead and spend all that money on Earl Thomas. Right now, Jeff Heath has not been a liability. Now, again, I know we've been playing, Sister Mary of the poor teams. I get that. But I still believe in this team and this defense. Kellen Moore, Stephen A. basically laughed at him about Kellen Moore. But Kellen Moore right now, Michael Irvin was spot on because there's not a book out there and because he is using all of these weapons. Even if you have the book on it, the problem is he's hitting like 7 different guys in the passing game. Dak Prescott has elevated that power of 4, that 4th year where quarterbacks really get into that groove and take over the team. That's where Dak is right now. And you can have a book, but when you've got a Zeke Elliott, when you've got a Tony Pollard that you can use to spell him and keep him healthy, when you've got an offensive line now with Travis Frederick that is able to be physical and run over people, and that's the thing. The Dallas Cowboys can physically beat you down. That's why the Cowboys are that second half team. You can come out there and be real quick and everything else and maybe jump on the Cowboys, but understand when you get a Tyron Smith, when you get a Zach Martin, when you get a Travis Frederick, and now a Lyle Collins, when they start hitting you play after play after play, and you are a light, quick guy, that stuff starts to wear you down. And then you throw in a Tony Pollard who's quick out there, or you set up screenplays to guys like Austin or to Randall Cobb, reverses. It's too many things to handle. Now, I don't know if the Cowboys can make it all the way. It's a long season. But you can look at this and say, this is one of the most complete teams across the board in the NFC. If I'm wrong, tell me what team is more complete than the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC right now. And I guarantee you can't find one. You look at the Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles right now, last week they scored some points against Green Bay. But that secondary of theirs, that's some shit. You can look at Minnesota, that their defense is playing really, really good, but you got Kirk Cousins. You can look at Chicago. They got a great defense, but they got Mitch Trubisky. You can look at Seattle, and Seattle's got Russell Wilson, but they're kind of in a rebuilding mode. You can look at the Rams. Are you really sold on Jared Goff being the guy? And Todd Gurley with the arthritis. Like Michael Irvin said, the nest. So yes, the Cowboys physically on paper look better than anybody else in the NFC. That doesn't mean you're going to win it all, though, because it's football, and that's why they play the games. All right, guys, we're actually having our grand opening here for our first football party this weekend. So I got to go ahead and get some pork shoulders ready to start smoking tonight. I think I'll make some gumbo for this game instead of chili. Just try a little something different and things, and just got to get everything together. So we're hopefully going to have a ball. We'll be starting out, of course, 1 o'clock on the Dead Man Walking of Jay Gruden. Can Jay Gruden save his job for at least another week, or will the Giants go to 500? So we've got that. Of course, the Eagles, they can kick back and relax because they've already got their victory. And then at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, we got our Dallas Cowboys, and we'll be live streaming. So be sure to join us for that. And that's the people asking about the Jobu T-shirts. If you go on my main screen on YouTube here, you'll see actually the Teespring store, but it's Cowboy Jobu store Teespring. And if you use DAC Run is the discount code to get 20% off. What we're doing is we're actually trying to raise some more money because we want to upgrade our screen in here as well as get another computer and things. And so the proceeds from selling the T-shirts are going to continue to upgrade and bring you hopefully the best content on YouTube. I'm Mark Holmes with Cowboy Jobu, and you'll see me later on today. I'll see you soon.